Hey guys, this is Alvie here with Group 1's reading. So, if you chose this beautiful kyanite, which if you can see it properly, the camera's not picking it up, it kind of looks like a dragon's wing or a butterfly's wing. It's beautiful. I think it's aura painted, but um, where I picked it up from said raw kyanite, but I'm not really sure that they come in that color. But either way, it's beautiful. And if you chose this is your reading. Or if you chose this card here, Harmonized Life, as you can see, there's lots of sort of imagery in that card of flow and movement. The writing underneath, which you might not be able to see or might not have been able to see when you chose the card from the photo on Facebook, is align your inner and outer landscape. So I feel like this is talking a lot about there's something. All right, bear with me a minute. I'm just going to put some music on. If you don't know me, I channel through music, and I can't have music on my readings in the background anymore like I used to, because there's copyright laws and all that sort of stuff, and people get into trouble for it, or you get demonetized, or your videos get muted if you're on Facebook. So yeah, I'm just trying to avoid that, but I like to listen to the music, and it helps me bring in these messages and things like that. So aligning your inner and outer landscape. So there's something that's not quite in balance within you, something going on. Perhaps it's I'm just tapping into your energy too, by the way. So collective energy, feeling into what's there about what might not be in alignment. So when you're not in alignment, it can feel like everything is, a series of unfortunate events, right? Things just don't kind of work out no matter what you try. And I feel like sometimes it's because we can have expectations that aren't realistic, and therefore, like, when things don't go the way we hoped or the way you expected, it can kind of like cause a lot of emotional upset, because you had this thing and you expected this thing, and now it's not that thing at all, it's something else. um Sorry. And I feel like also I don't this I meditate before I do these readings, so the energy that comes through as I'm meditating, and even before I do the reading at all during the day, can be quite relevant to what's going on in the collective, because I read the collective energy quite a lot too. So um, I kind of, yeah, like there's a lot of energy coming through, but when I didn't realize until I started meditating and trying to get getting my channels open and calling in source and calling in my guides and all of that sort of stuff, so I can be a pure, clear channel for you guys, that I was kind of blocking it. I'd been blocking it and I didn't realize, and I got hit with this massive download of energy, and it made me cry, and I thought, oh, this is like, something maybe that needs to be processed here. Things might be coming up for you that you need to process it, are keeping you out of being in alignment with yourself, with your soul, with your guidance, and with your path. Um, what else am I getting here? So I think, yeah, feeling a lot that it's got a lot to do with um, finding a flow. So there must be something in you, and I don't really believe that in blockages like the way people talk about them and have talked about them for a long time. Um, Rarely, and it's an energy blockage. It's often just a thought, like a limiting thought or a limiting belief or something like that. You can think of it however you want, really, because when it's a limiting thought or a limiting belief, it has the same like repercussions in your life as does having an energy blockage, and it causes the same thing, right? So once you remove that limiting thought, you remove the energy blockage, or you allow for flow. When I close my eyes and I'm feeling into this message, what I'm really feeling is this: I'm seeing like this big river flowing, I don't know, that moving water. So creek, river. It's not the ocean. It's something that's got like a particular path. It's got a particular, um, way that it's meant to go. So this is talking about your life path or your soul path. Um, I see the water is quite turbulent as well. So it seems like water represents emotions, right? So it seems like there's lots of turbulent emotions that are coming up for you, or that you have surrounding. It might be a certain situation, it might be lots of situations, because you just feel like, as I think I said before, that your life's like a series of unfortunate events. Um, and yeah, that when that happens, it's definitely giving you a clue that things you know, aren't as they seem, and maybe there's something within you that you can work with. Um, Let me just tap in again. Sorry, I don't know why I'm apologizing. I gotta close my eyes. Um, yeah, so seeing this turbulent river, um, it's like big emotions and lots of flowing emotions, and I feel like for some of you this might be what happens when when you release this block or this limiting belief, or you start to manage your expectations. This is something else that's sort of come up a fair bit. It's like, but the more real you can be with yourself about how things are going to be, or not have an expectation, have an expectation of a positive outcome, but not try and control things. So yeah, trying to control the way that things go, that causes that misalignment, because it's not letting things organically happen. It's not letting things become how they're meant to become. It's fiddling with things. It's like how can I put it? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to use that imagery. It's like when you've got a sore or a cut, and the more you pick the scab, like the longer it takes to heal, because you're interfering with the natural process of something happening. So yeah, this is definitely something that I'm feeling coming up for you guys. Is like, it's really hard. I know sometimes, you know, if you find yourself in one of those states where you're trying to control everything, and you're trying to like um you have specific, it's hard because everybody has goals and desires and things like that, right? But being able to be flexible about those desires and goals is very helpful, because if you only have one particular way that you want things to happen and that they have to go, and you're always trying to control them, not only are you exhausted, but it also, as I said, stops things from happening the way that they're meant to, the way that the universe has designed them to happen. And it kind of like, how can I put it? You always find yourself sort of disappointed if you're trying to create a specific outcome, because we don't have control over things like that. So it's way better to learn how to manage those expectations. Um, I'm going to read out of the book, actually. I don't know why I haven't yet. Where did I put it? There it is. Let's have a look and see what the book says about it, if I can find it. All right. Harmonized life. Harmonized life. Okay, life is unpredictable. Sometimes it is kind to us, other times it seems to be a string of never-ending troubles. Um, our soul fluctuates in its journey between happiness and frustration with what is not going as well as we hoped. When we feel exhausted, stressed, and frustrated, it indicates that we are out of balance. That we are out of balance. To balance our lives, we need to align our emotions with our physical circumstances. Okay, so, um, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's like aligning what you feel with what's actually happening in the real world. Maybe there's a message there about not getting carried away in fantasy land about, certain situations in your life and just going with the flow. Oh, yes. Okay. So my guides have just said to me, this is the thing, right? We all tell stories about what, we tell ourselves stories about everything in our lives. Well, most people do. We kind of make them up, right? And sometimes, if you're prone to it, those stories are going to be negative, and it's like the way that you self sabotage. It's like they're sort of asking you to stop telling yourself stories and stay in the moment. So, practicing mindfulness, maybe. But yeah, it's very interesting kind of energy that's coming through. It's asking you to just go with what you have physical proof of, which is kind of different to what I would normally say. But it is a very important kind of message to understand, because when you aren't living, what is that saying? It's like when you aren't living in the moment, like if you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you're depressed, you're living in the past, because your energy's not actually in that present moment, right? So you're not able to just be in that moment. And that's, I think this is part of the trick, the part of the releasing, or whatever it is that you need to do to come back and harmonize your life. So instead of like making a big story up about how a certain situation is going to go in your life, have positive expectations, but then don't go beyond that. Don't make those oh, pardon me, hiccups. Oh no, um, not bad. It's just that means that big energy is coming through. So, yeah. So like letting go of um, those stories, not telling yourself stories about things, about how things might go, and especially if they're negative stories, right? Um, Telling yourself stories that induce anxiety, making things up out of little, how we all do this, right? We find a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we kind of turn it into something that it might not even be. So it's sort of like yeah, asking you to be mindful and drop the stories about things so that you can stay harmonized and in this physical, present in this physical moment. Um, this means being patient when dealing with conflicts and being delighted when things go well. It feels, if life feels imbalanced, it may be because you are trying to control or change what you cannot. Be gentle with yourself. The potential to bring harmony and order to your life is already flowing within you. You have full power to manage and control your own opinions, emotions, and desires. Spend some time assessing your life as it is and set realistic goals for the kind of improvements that could help you find equilibrium. Yeah, so that's a very interesting message there. It's sort of like you have to be a bit more realistic about things, perhaps, or there's certain goals that you need to set, that you need to set. So I've got to stop bumping the desk. So yeah, certain goals that you can set that are realistic and achievable, so that you don't end up in that land of disappointment type thing. Um, Ages ago, I remember trying to explain this to my little one. I think he was about 5 or 6 at the time. How that we can have how was it, about positive expectations, but not being, not being focused on just that one outcome. So what I said was, like, when we go to the shop to get a lollipop or something, and you have something specific in mind, and you get there and they don't have it, you're really disappointed. Whereas if you go to that shop with just the idea that you're going to get something yummy and it doesn't matter what it is, then you're much more likely to not experience negative emotions, or you're not going to be disappointed because that one thing, that one thing isn't there. right? So it's sort of, it's a bit of a that vibe coming through with this card. Um, where are we? Try to improve your physical and mental conditioning, relationships, and spiritual alignment. Guide your own destiny by finding out what makes you happy and what generates fear or boredom. So, yeah, if you're paying attention to the things that make you feel bad, then you can stop doing them, or you can find some way around them. Um, accept new realities as they come to you, and be strong enough to make changes when you feel something is not working. By paying attention to adjusting your emotions to your new reality, there is a good chance you will create new ways to enjoy a more balanced life. Very interesting. So yeah, this, I feel like this sort of upcoming period after you see this is about aligning your life. They're asking you to do the things that make you feel aligned, that are going to help you kind of align those, that inner and outer reality, inner and outer worlds. And then we have for you guys, bizarrely, Thrill, Jophiel. And the reason I'm saying bizarrely is because I can see there's like the pyramids, the Great Pyramid in Egypt, and the other two. I don't know if they've got names, but and then the stars. And I think, oh, what constellation is that? I know it is the saucepan, and that's the handle, right? I think it's Pleiades. Is it Pleiades? I don't know. I'm not good with stuff like that. I don't remember what they're called. I know what they look like, but I don't know what they're called. So this is it. Kind of, it's really just reiterating that feeling of There we go. That's better. No screen glare. Of being aligned. See, they're aligned, and it's a thrill because it's something that's not. It's something that I feel like this is kind of like a rare occasion that it's aligned, and that's thrilling for you. But I think there's probably more in that message as well. That was just, it jumped out at me as soon as I saw that come up next to harmonized life, and we were talking about being aligned with things, right? Aligned with your soul path. Um, Thrill. Let's read into that. So thrill kind of gives me this feeling that um, you have something in your destiny that's kind of like really thrilling, exciting, and by aligning your life, you're going to get there quicker. It just creates a flow through through your soul path. It's easier for things to line up for you if you're not always trying to kind of, jump over the next hurdle, or how can I put it? I'm kind of it, what I'm actually seeing, right, is it's like an obstacle course, and you're kind of having to dodge all these obstacles, and it takes you a lot longer to get to the end of the obstacle course than if you could just like jump over and fly past all the obstacles. And I'm not saying once you're aligned in your life, you won't have any obstacles. It's more like you know how to deal with them, or you've got certain tools and certain ways to be able to approach those obstacles. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here for you guys. I feel like that will be a big thrill for you, but I feel like there's something more too. I wonder if I've got that book. I know. Reading the book, there's something just coming through from that one though, that I feel like there might be a message in here as well. Thrill. So yeah, I'm getting that like, ooh, this is really exciting. But not so exciting that you kind of blow it out of reality by being like, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. This is more like something that you know you deserve, something that you've maybe been desiring or working on, or, looking at from a point of view of that would be so good to have, but I doubt that I'll ever get it because I'm so busy dealing with all this other shit, this fucking obstacle course that my life has become, with all this, these bits. Yeah, sorry. Again, I'm getting heaps of visuals today, so I'm gonna say weird shit. Like, oh, sorry. I'm not sorry. It's just like it kind of, my flow changes as I see the clairvoyant messages. And I'm seeing it's sort of like, when you're moving a house, or you've just moved into your house and you haven't unpacked, and there's like all boxes everywhere, and there's like, you don't really know where everything is. You have to keep pulling all of this stuff out of the boxes to find that one thing that you're looking for right at that moment. That's sort of the picture that I'm getting, that you might feel like that right now. I know that's a really kind of weird thing, but it's sort of like bits and bobs, stuff everywhere, but it's not organized and it's not. And I don't feel like this is, it might not be a physical thing. You could be, completely have a perfectly good house and everything works well, and if in your physical life things are working well, but it could be that energetically there's just stuff, there's stuff that needs to be cleared up. Or it could be, a combination of everything. It could be like this first card said, align your inner and outer landscapes. So there's something going on within you that isn't aligned to that or whatever it is. Um, yeah, let's keep going with this. I love it when I start getting big clairvoyant downloads. It's amazing. Totally different energy too. Jovial adventure. Let's see. Thrill. All right, let's see what it's got to say. Jovial, as the spirit of liberation, wants you to see the uniqueness of the time you're living in, evoking the ecstasy, I can't say ecstasy today, ecstasy of, hang on, where are we? Evoking the ecstasy of thrill. Unique phenomena are currently taking place on the planet Earth. Yeah, no shit. Those auroras were fucking unique because they were everywhere. And I think I'm probably the only person on Earth who didn't actually get to see one, which is pretty weird. But anyway, I feel like, yeah, hang on. Where are we? Unique phenomena are currently taking place on planet Earth. Gaze upon the ancient Egyptian pyramids and you will see why thrill is implicit. The stars that aligned with each of the three pyramids on the December the 3rd, 2012. Oh, okay. This is something that's actually already happened, this alignment. I think I remember this because everybody thought it was going to be the end of the world. And guess what? We're still fucking here. So yeah, the stars that aligned with the three pyramids on the 3rd of December 2012, and it only occurs every 2,737 years, was a sight to marvel at. Mercury, Venus, and Saturn. Oh, okay, so I was wrong about the Pleiades. I told you, don't quote me on it. So yeah, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, respectively, the god Thoth or Hermes, and goddess Hathor or Aphrodite, and the king god Osiris or Zeus, descending onto Earth to give special benediction. Please review your own life to see where thrill lies, and if you haven't felt thus for some time, if you haven't felt a thrill for some time, the drawing of this icon means that your desire will soon be met. I feel like this is about bringing excitement into your life, remembering that it doesn't have to be this big, deep grind of crap, which is what I'm picking up. It's sort of like that energy of I have to just keep going. Like, I'm so tired, but this just isn't, I have to keep going, but I'm not really getting anything out of it sort of feeling. Chant Hay through the brow chakra. Ooh, as I was saying, this is where the clairvoyant center is. So when you get vision, spiritual vision, your third eye chakra is open and you're seeing things like with spiritual sight. So this is asking you to maybe have a look at that as well. The ajna, I don't know if I'm saying that right. To feel the thrills running up and down your spine and gaze upon the heart sigil of Jophiel's orb for extra resonance. That's really interesting. Cool. So yeah, I feel like what I kind of got from that message as well is what we were already talking about, is how, alignment allows you to have more energy to do things that are exciting, that light you up. But I also feel like from that message, they were talking about having the connection with the brow, with the third eye chakra or eye, the third eye center. Sorry, I don't know why my mind went completely blank then. The third eye, right? Having connection with that and having that open up for you allows you to see more clearly what it is that is kind of creating this. I can't even explain it. It's so weird. It's sort of like bits and pieces everywhere. It's like there's kind of cosmic fluff or something stuck in between it. I feel like a lot of you are just sort of stuck in that day to day grind and you're wondering, when can I get the fuck out of here and go on a holiday or something like that as well. But this is a definite, like, it's just this feeling. There's lots of stuff. And I don't know whether it's emotional or physical because it's going to be different for all of you. This is a collective reading, obviously. For some of you, it might be a combination. For some of you, it might just be an energetic or spiritual thing. For some of you, it might be a physical thing where, you know, decluttering your house, getting rid of your junk. And I'm saying this, I'm looking around my room thinking, yeah, I could probably do that too. Yeah, things like that, getting rid of your junk, clearing the path, right? So that there's more alignment and more energy to bring in to find you know, things that excite you and things that light you up, and to be able to give energy to that instead of just this grind of trying to get through. Um, then we have pleasure. And if I remember correctly, I cracked up at this card last time I read from the book about it. Because it says something about pleasure that it's not a hussy. So basically they're saying, like, you know, it's time to open up to pleasure. Maybe you just haven't had time to, I don't know. I'm getting, it's very, you know, visceral kind of pleasure, like eating nice cakes and, or, you know, physical touch like massage or sex or, you know, something like that as well. It's sort of giving me that feeling. It's like you don't even have time, or you haven't had or given yourself permission to have these things that make you feel good. And because you're so busy with whatever this is, whatever this tangled up, it sort of feels karmic, but I think it's just, you know, stuff that needs to be cleared away, or this a large emotion that I felt coming through as well with the big river. The imagery of that, the like that's emotions, right? Water is emotions. If it's running very quickly, there's a lot of energy within it, and it's very overwhelming because it's like choppy water, and it's sort of, yeah, it's I feel like that's taking up all of your time and all of your energy in a way. So it's sort of like this, your emotions are going crazy, and everything else around you is kind of like, it feels like an obstacle course that you're trying to run to get to the end of the river to where it meets the sea and it becomes calmer. Um, when really what you could do is like build yourself a raft by bringing pleasure and things that light you up and things like that into your life. And this is what they're asking you to do, or maybe this is what you're already being guided to do and taking steps towards. But yeah, this is the thing, right? It's like bringing these principles of I'm good and I'm deserving of having pleasure and being lit up and feeling good about myself and about my life and all of those things. Bringing those principles into your life is going to help you harmonize your life more, and align the inner and outer landscapes, as the card said. And then we have full moon. So, full moon completion. We are looking at, I feel like this is something, yeah, it's like, it says completion. I feel like it might be a time thing. So it's saying like on a full moon or by the full moon. This this thing, this issue, these issues, this obstacle course that you feel like you're running, is kind of going to complete and finish, and then you will be able to bring in this energy. Maybe you've been working really hard on something and just not had the focus or the time or whatever to harmonize everything else around you. Um, Let me just see if I can tune into this energy as well. I mean, the full moon also brings forth, you know, in tarot anyway, and it gives you like a different perspective on things, right? So that when you're in the moonlight, when you see things in the moonlight, they don't look the same as they do in the sunlight. I feel like this is like a different perspective, or a different way of looking at things, or perhaps the full moon will show you what it is that, you know, you're not seeing that's causing this. You might be able to like complete the cycle or complete the obstacle course and finally get some time to relax and chill and go on a holiday or whatever it is that you want to do, or find those things that, you know, And yeah, my guides are actually saying in my ear they haven't even got time to find out what it is that they like and what lights them up. They're just too busy with this, whatever it is, this obstacle course, this massive river. And, you know, sometimes these things happen in your life so that they can clear everything away. And I feel like this might be some, for some of you anyway, clearing away a path, clearing the slate so that you can start again. So yeah, full moon, completion, seeing things in a different light. I reckon we will go into some. How long have we been going for? Maybe I should leave it here. I feel like that is actually a pretty complete and succinct message for you guys, but I will go um, into an extended reading if anyone's interested. Just a little bit more detail. We'll go into the tarot cards. We'll find out a bit more about this obstacle course and this, you know, this misalignment that's happening in your life, and maybe get some more guidance on what it is that your soul and your guides are asking you to do to help resolve it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. You'll find the link below for the extended reading, and you'll also find links for a personal reading if you're interested in that with me. I also do, as I said, did I say that in the beginning? Maybe I didn't. I do energy healing as well. um, I'm also a bit spacey, but I'm good at what I do. I've been doing it for years, so yeah. Um, yeah, other than that, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you got some guidance from this message, and I will hopefully catch you on the next one too. Bye. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Feel free to send me a comment, you know, let me know what's going on in your life, etc., etc., how the reading hit for you, all of those things. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Am I recording? Hopefully. Anyway, hey, it's Alvie here, and I am here doing group truth reading. Um, so, if you chose, this is an amethyst seer stone, it's hard to say, but yeah, if you chose this one, or you chose the card Love Unites, oh, now we can see it. Perfect. All right, so yeah, if you chose either of those, then this is your reading. What am I going to do? I know that sounds disturbing, but yeah, I'm in a bit of a funny, spacey place at the moment, more than usual, because, you know, the solar flares, the auroras, and all of that sort of stuff. And as I'm sitting down to channel, I'm just getting huge, huge waves of energy coming through to do these readings. So, yeah, I kind of I think we're going to go through all of the cards and see what message sort of comes out in that way, and then we'll go back and have a look at surrender to the Love Unite, surrender to the attraction card, and get, you know, maybe read out of the book or see what else comes through. So the next card we have is Cherish, and then we have Jubilance. Wow, I love the picture on that one. That's really cool. Kind of like old school compasses or something like that in the background. Super interesting. And then we have the card Strength, so the Mountain card. Now, let me just, I hope I didn't just make a huge big bang on that microphone. My clothes are falling off. Alright, so we have Love Unite, surrender to the attraction. You know, immediately anyone reading that would think, oh, we're talking about a relationship, right? I think for a lot of you that might be the case, but having seen this Cherish card, it also could be like just opening up to love more. Maybe being more open and loving with your family, perhaps. Let's see what else is coming through. So I turn my music down just that little bit. Looking at this. This is definitely giving me, you know, that union vibe, or that coming together. Oh, the right way around. You can see a person in the water here and another person here, and they're kind of like this emotion. This is water, I'm assuming. I'm getting that It's kind of like, the emotions running between them. You might find that you've met someone that you feel very attracted to. There might be someone who you're kind of resisting going into a connection or a relationship with for whatever reason. Maybe you don't feel safe in love, or you're healing from the past relationship or something like that. Um, then we have cherish. Cherish is just, yeah, like, I kind of, as I said that, as I read that out, my guide said to me, "You are cherished, so this is a message for you." Maybe you're not feeling safe in a current relationship or connection, um, and you're not able to kind of let the love in. Um, so they're reminding you that you are cherished. For some of you, anyway. Some of you might be fine with that, and it's just asking you to be in that energy of cherishing things. Um, yeah, I'm going to read out of the book. Ooh, this is a very different energy to what was coming through for group one. So it's taking me a little minute to kind of adjust into where I am with you guys. So love unites. Where are we? Love unites. There it is. No, life is opportunity. Let go. I'll find it eventually, guys. Sorry. I really should bookmark the life is opportunity. Love unites. I found it. Okay, so love is the power that unites the lover with the beloved and melts them together until their souls merge into one. The way to experience this condition is for both partners to realize their selfish desires, or to release their selfish desires and consider the needs of each other. True union takes place when lovers go beyond the focus of their own physical needs, beyond the desire for ownership and attachment to possessions. When you are united with another through when you are united with another soul through mutual selfless love, you will feel a special and wonderful bliss. Beauty will flow through you and increase your creative potential. You will begin to feel a power within that drives you to make positive change in your life. Your vision becomes enlarged, so you can your vision becomes enlarged. It sounds like a horrible disease to me, but your vision becomes enlarged. I'm just picturing someone with massive eyes. Sorry, I just have a weird sense of humor sometimes. Your vision becomes enlarged, so you can always include the one you love in the way you see things. This way, their presence never leaves you. True pure love to be your guide. Trust pure love to be your guide in finding your wholeness. Allow its virtue to lead you to a place where you can experience this most amazing transformation in the journey of your soul. The union of love begins with caring for yourself with the same fervor, honesty, and commitment you give to others. If you find yourself in a situation where you are consistently giving more than you receive, this is not true love. It would be best if you tried to fix the imbalance. Don't ignore it or make excuses for it. Have the courage to say no when your beloved expects you to accept less than you deserve. Okay, that's interesting. That last part really got me. I don't know why, but that's piqued my interest now. Have the courage to say no when your beloved expects you to accept less than you deserve. So I am opening my heart to give and receive love, empowering all I am and all that I do. So energy messages coming through as I'm reading that book, the card about the book about the card, is I was just kind of getting this feeling that they're talking about finding the balance in your relationships. Obviously this is going to be a love relationship reading, so I feel like for most of you that this is about a current connection. and that current connection is out of balance, and they're asking you to remember to come back to that more selfless version of love, um, and to come back into your own energy and your own love and your own connection with like source and that, so that you can remember what it feels like to be in that pure love state, that bliss state, because you really do feel like that when you're in that state with someone else, when you connect and you're both in this selfless, easy flowing feeling of love. And I think this is just sort of like a reminder to you guys, or this is saying like this is coming, this is coming for you. Maybe you were in it before and you're not feeling it anymore, or things have fallen out of balance, because they do. That's life, relationships and everything. We all have their season, so the bliss has its season, and then the feeling out of balance has its season. Or you've got other stuff going on in your life, like work or other family commitments and things like that, and it just throws things out of whack. um, so it's saying surrender to the attraction. So if there is an attraction that you're kind of resisting, or maybe you're blocking in some way, perhaps just surrendering to that if you can, if you know how. Sometimes surrendering really isn't easy. That's going to help you in some way as well in this connection. So, pardon me, I've got those burps again. The channeling burps and hiccups, lots of energy coming through today as I'm reading. So, Shamiel. Shamiel? Is that how you say it? Let me see if I can like just tune into this energy a little bit more and see if any clairvoyant or other messages come through. Being drawn to the mountain card, so the strength card. This is about being strong. Um, mountains don't go anywhere, right? I feel like this is sort of remembering the permanence. Perhaps if you're in a longer term connection, or understanding that this might be one that lasts, like a mountain, so that you're not always feeling, maybe, yeah, I'm kind of picking up on this feeling of, you may be getting worried. This is what maybe sort of this could have affected the connection, is that you're worried that they're going somewhere, or they're worried that you're going somewhere. There's this kind of like anxious attachment type feeling coming through. And that often happens because, you are afraid of something happening like it happened before with someone else, or you just have that attachment style, which is anxious attachment. So, you don't feel as secure perhaps as you did before. Maybe something has come up that's made you worry about that and you didn't before, or perhaps you're just in a different place in your life, or a frequency or way of thinking that's kind of disconnected the union that you had. So I'm looking at, I see jubilance, and I'm thinking, like maybe just not pretending. I don't know why I want to say pretending. Bringing back that happiness, bringing back the happiness that you have within yourself and who you are. Because often in this case, like you get in a relationship, everything's all happy, and you're one person. And then as the honeymoon phase kind of fades out, you start to kind of become a bit, maybe especially if you're experiencing that anxious attachment thing, you get a bit more needy, your energy gets a bit more needy, or it's hard to explain. Okay, I'm gonna have a look and see if they've got the right words for me in here. Let's have a look at Metatron. Jubilance, yeah. That's the DQ. Too many angels in this book. The strange thing is that they don't have a Oh, there we go. So they don't have like a blurb in it where it shows you where the cards are or anything. Jubilance. Metatron's heart sigil wants you to gaze at the heavens, whether this be at the sacred geometry of the Gothic chapel ceiling seen in the icon. Oh, that's what that is. All right, so this is the ceiling of the Gothic chapel. In the icon, or to examine the infinite and exquisite balance of the firmament. The firmament, I think that means like space. It's a word I'm not that familiar with. I've heard it before, but the ceiling is a reflection of the star-filled ocean around us in the cosmos. The flowing dimensions are rich with an alchemical force, wishing us to feel uplifted and allowing us to feel jubilance spreading through each aspect of our lives so that we may surrender to being grace-given and grace-led. The gatekeepers of this mystical pathway are awe and joy. Are awe. Are awe and joy. And when we feel close to the states of flowing through us, we become full of jubilation. Contemplate on how much jubilation you have in your life, and if little exists, pour it into the veils of the infinite belief in your everlasting soul, and the angels will assure you. You will be immediately reminded of all that is rich within you. That's a very interesting message, and it's kind of tapping into this, what they were talking about in this card, which was that pure unconditional love that you feel, in the beginning of a connection or a relationship you have. Less, I don't know, it's just sort of more pure, and there's like, the love bubble that you're in, and everything seems great, and there's that blissful thing. And I feel like this is kind of asking you to remember that that feeling comes from you as well. Like, you can create that on your own between you and source, or you and your guides, or you and your angels, or however you like to think about it. So yeah, bringing that jubilance back in, that excitement of the fact that you're a soul, that you're infinite, that you are able to connect with this energy of pure unconditional love at any time. It doesn't rely on another person, and that actually allows you to be able to surrender into love, because you're already love, right? You're not seeking outside of you. You have it within you, so it just kind of brings the reflection of pure unconditional love, or the level of love that you have for yourself, brings a reflection back from your partner of that. We all reflect the energy, and we all pick up the energy of other people. So by bringing this energy into your life on your own, focusing on it, remembering that you are love, you don't need to seek for it. You don't need to be oh, hang on, sorry. Getting puffed out talking about this. This is the energy coming through me, by the way. As I said before, auroras and all that sort of stuff. See, the auroras, look at how much joy and how much awe and how much amazingness people are connecting to, just seeing something, some like natural phenomenon, like that, right? And they're remembering they're not just these bodies, they're not just this life, they're bigger than that. They're connected to something that's bigger than that. And that's the kind of energy that they're asking you to remember and to bring into your life. Because what I'm actually feeling here is, it's like there is a connection, and it used to feel like that. And maybe you felt like it beforehand, but when you do merge your soul with someone, when you do have that soul union with someone, sometimes the bubble bursts, right? And that bubble bursting is, you can rebuild the bubble, you can stay in the bubble, but it takes work, and it takes remembering that it's you're the source of your joy, you're the source of your love, and the other person is reflecting that back to you. So what you have within you is really what they're showing you. They're like your mirror. They become like your cosmic mirror for love and for joy and for jubilance and all of that sort of stuff. So if you're both doing that, imagine that. Big bang. Cherish has got me stumped. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's just sort of like remembering the energy that's coming through is like remembering how to cherish something so special and something so beautiful. That whole energy that I was just talking about, then it does bring in that. It's sort of like gratitude. It's like, this is amazing. This is great. Let's cherish it. Let's hold it. Let's keep it safe. And, maybe work together to keep that energy going, help each other out when we don't feel like that, maybe redirect it, use love and patience and kindness to bring to keep feeding our connection and our bubble, and not to let the little things sort of get in the way of what is truly an amazing experience. I'm going to grab these Moon Witch cards and get some more messages for you guys. Just as I'm shuffling, I'll probably get more messages from the oracles as well. So yeah, love unites. As I said, I feel like for some of you, this is about a current union that might be, feeling a bit wobbly, and you might be feeling a bit anxious about it, or not really remembering who you are because maybe it just doesn't feel the same anymore, and you've forgotten that energy is actually from you. It's you both, but it was from you in the beginning because you probably felt different than you do now. But for others of you, I feel like it's like it is a connection that maybe is new, or something that you haven't really explored, but you're about to, and it's about to become this union of souls that they're talking about, like uniting love, uniting two people together. Or it could even be like a family situation or friend situation, but for the most part, I think it's, relationships and love. Surrender to the attraction. Oh yeah, maybe you've got someone in your life who you're really attracted to, and you haven't surrendered to that attraction yet, and they're saying, go on, do it, it's okay. But we'll see what these Moon Witch oracles have to say about this energy coming through, this reading. Whoa, coming through. That flew, didn't it? 13. Divine Feminine, step into your power. So yeah, this is talking about the power of being in receptive energy, not creating limitations with your thoughts and your behaviors, your attitude, your energy, but stepping into that sort of more, the softer, more accepting, more receptive energy that of the feminine energy archetype, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because feminine energy is receptive, like, it just is. My guides are giving me like pictures of, how do you put it? It's like there's so many ways that it's depicted through different things. It's like, the chalice and the sword coming into the chalice, and the chalice is the feminine energy and the sword is the masculine energy. Or how flowers what do you call it, propagate, is that right? How they, I don't know, I'm sure you get what I mean, right? Being the receptive energy, being the cup of love, that's there ready to receive, and ready to receive more of what they actually already are, rather than creating limitations and resistance to it. Okay, what else do you want Group 2 to know about this love union coming in? New moon, fresh start, new beginnings. All right, so this is for those of you who are looking for a new beginning. And again, this could be two different storylines, or, many different storylines, because this is a collective reading, right? So, not everything's going to be the right message for you, but some of it will. So, yeah, new moon. All right, so by the new moon, you will have a new start, a new beginning. So it could be that you are starting something new with someone, and this is the energy of, surrendering to love, and that lovers union type thing coming in. Or this could be that you're in a situation that needs a new start, and it's working its way through. My guides are saying be patient I know that it's hard to be patient sometimes, but there are things that are unseen things, or things that need to happen before this new start can come in. So just, I think I did a mini reading yesterday, a reel on Facebook, and I was talking about the cards that came out. It wasn't me. It's just like, don't do anything yet. Now's not the time to take action, right? So now's the time to observe. So this is the kind of energy that I'm getting from the message my guides just said. It's not time to make moves right just now, because there's things going on like unseen in the ethers that maybe, you know, your guides are helping you with, or helping them with, or something like that. So yeah, they're bringing in this new fresh start, and it will be by the new moon. So we are in a new moon now. I think it will be the next one. It won't be this one. Although it could be, you never know. Just depends on how fast things are moving in, like your individual paths and all of that kind of stuff. Let's have a look. That one's one. Coven. Power of sisterhood. All right. So sometimes I think to remember your power is to be around people who, you know, you're not emotionally attached to in the same way as you would be a partner or a potential partner or a lover. Those of you who celebrate you for who you are, because you know they're your sisters or your family or whatever, to just to remind you, you know, you are the love that, you know, we're talking about. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we forget our power when we don't spend enough time out of the connection as well. This is another message that's coming through. My guides are like, yeah, you need to spend time apart as well as time together. There needs to be a balance in the connection. Needs to be a balance in the relationship. If you're spending too much time together and you haven't got your friends around, you know, things can seem a bit much bigger. The emotions can seem much bigger if there's stuff coming up for you, and things like that. Whereas if you have that balanced approach where you both, it's healthier to have, you know, other people that you spend time with, your friends, your family, and not just focus all on this one person. Even though it's often a big temptation to do so, it's sort of like, no, don't forget about these guys. These are your support. This is your support system. These are the ones that remind you who you are, say, if things don't work out, or, you know, you're having a hard time with hubby or boyfriend or girlfriend or however, whoever, your partner, your person. If you're having a difficult time with them and you don't have that support system, you don't have that coven or that family support or something like that, it's so much worse because you feel so on your own. So yeah, the power of sisterhood. Ooh, there we got some more cards coming through. All right, let's have a look. What have we got? Magic wand. Focus your energy on one thing. So whatever that one thing is, we don't know. I feel like it's just remembering the love that you truly are and bringing that connection back in. But for you, it might be something different. I mean, it is a general reading. It's a collective reading. So that's a general message, right? But, you know, you might have one thing that that you feel would be advantageous for you to focus on. And that might be what you want to focus on at this time. And that's going to help things, you know, harmonize and become a union again, or become a more harmonious union or balanced connection. I'm having trouble with my headphones today. Okay, full moon. Harvest the fruits of your labor. This one came up in group 1 as well. Yeah, I feel like it's something that you've been working hard on. Maybe you're working on healing some things, or as I said, I was picking up on this anxious attachment type situation here. And it could go either way. It could be that they're anxious and you're busy, or, you know, you're not, you're secure, you have a secure attachment thing, a secure attachment style. Let me just, I'm just going to tune in a little bit more and see what else needs to come through. Mm. There's definitely something there. I feel like I'm going to need to get some more messages just to get the translation right. Okay, so what else do you want to know? Want group 2 to know? Freya, you are worthy and you are loved. All right, so that's a reminder, right? This is what having the coven, the sisterhood gang, or the brotherhood gang, or whoever, your friends, your family, your support system, other people to hang around with and talk to and remind you of who you are. Because sometimes you get in that soul union energy and you kind of meld into one and you forget who the fuck you really are without them. So it's good to have that balance, and they're just reminding you you are worthy and you are loved. Um, okay, so getting that card come up, that message come up, this is bringing a new message for you guys too. And this is more about a connection that's not going well, or it's ended, or, pardon me, you're on a break or something like that. It's just, it's not quite what you thought it would be, basically. With the Freya card coming up, the you are worthy, you are loved, this is a reminder, and they're asking you to go and spend time with other people, however that works for you, to remind you that you are all of those things. Again, this is just coming back to this connection with source and remembering your power. Um, And to remember also, this is something that I'm really picking up now, is to remember that we're bigger than this, just this physical body, right? We're bigger, we're energy beings, okay? So there's so much stuff that sort of, it seems so huge when we're human, but when we're human, we are human, right? When we're in our humanness, in our ego, in our day-to-day lives. But if you can stop and you can take like a more wider perspective, or maybe you meditate or something like that, it gives you an expanded perspective. You realize that a lot of the things that are worrying you, or a lot of the things that sort of come up and cause trouble, are really just molehills when you've made them into mountains from your ego perspective. Maybe someone said to you, your partner or your person said or did something that made you feel, or dig. The word I'm trying to say is dig back in, drop back into like a wounded part of yourself, that requires more love, right? It requires love from you. It requires acceptance from you. But it's reminded you, there was a part of you or a part of your life where you didn't feel worthy and loved, and you've worked really hard on that. And they're kind of reminding you not to let minor things kind of bring you back to that, because there are minor things. That's not really what's going on here. It's just kind of like your ego grabbed hold of that thought or that behavior or that thing, and now it's gone wild, or it could possibly have gone wild, depending on the person you are and how well you can control your mind and things like that. Or you've been triggered or something like that. They're reminding you like you're bigger. You're bigger than that. You're a big, beautiful, bright soul, and don't forget that. Okay, let's get a few more messages for group 2. Then I might take it into an extended, because this is an interesting reading and I want to get into the nitty-gritty with the tarot and things like that. But I also don't want to keep you guys watching for like 7 hours. And I need to earn some money. So yeah, there you go. I need to be paid for my time is what I mean, in some way, shape or form. So I do extended readings. They're not very expensive. I charge like $5 for them or something. But it's just a way to, make it balanced, because everything's an energy exchange. So if you're interested in an extended reading, I really appreciate you and I love that. And if you're not, that's cool. Hopefully you get the message. I try to give the message that's full and succinct in the general reading anyway, but just to go, for people who are more interested in what they've heard or want to get deeper into what they've heard, the extended readings are there for you. So a sign, if you're looking for a sign, here it is. Okay, so that means something to some of you, I guess. Maybe you're looking for a sign. Should I stay or should I go? Should I surrender to this love or shall I just run because I don't trust love, or there's something going on with me and this person and I don't want to get into that, or you know how it goes. Like you'll know for yourself how it goes because it's for you. So yeah, if you're looking for a sign, here it is. I feel like we need to leave this here. My guides are saying for this amount of time, this is enough energy and enough messages for you guys to be, you know, working with. So hopefully you got something out of it. Maybe I'll see you over in the extended readings. If I don't, that's cool. Happy for you to be watching anyway, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm glad that you've watched. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the next one, or I'll see you over in the extended readings, which you will find a link for in the description box underneath this video. Okay, thanks. Bye. That again. Oh my god. What is going on? That's so funny. That's so funny. That's so funny. Oops. Oh dear. Yes, okay, so now I have the microphone on after making an absolutely bizarre noise. It sounds a bit like this woman who does, I think it's light language or something like that. Hello. Okay, that's good. We've got that now. Hopefully you can hear me. All right. Try that again. Oh dear. What about how about a comedy of errors, huh? Okay, so group 3, if you chose the joy of generosity, or the chrysocolla, I think it's raw chrysocolla. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Anyway, if you chose either of those or just chose group 3, then this is your reading. The joy of generosity. So, every time I say that, I need to have this big exhale. It's like this big breath out. So this is kind of an energy of giving. I feel like it says give and make room to receive. So making space, I feel like that's something that's really important, is making space to receive. Or as I've been getting these messages, just, you know, like I get messages as I walk around sometimes, and energetically, or as I'm doing things during the day for my own sort of growth and soul path, as well as for the collective. And there's been a lot about being in the energy of being able to receive. So the receptive energy. I'm also getting from this card that, like, giving things away that you don't use, giving things away to like a thrift shop or a charity, or handing them over to, going through your wardrobe and finding clothes that you don't wear or that don't fit you anymore, you just don't like or whatever, and giving them to someone who will use them is a really good way to make space for, for you to be able to receive or bring new things in. Let me have a look at what this says what it says in my book. I like to read the book and show you all how bad I am at reading, so at reading out loud. So, as social animals, we have been programmed to share this planet with each other and everything on it. What stops us from following our natural course of sharing is usually the fear of not having enough for ourselves. But if we were to realize that whatever we have in this world has been given to us through a higher source, perhaps we would appreciate the offering more by giving in return. So, okay, big themes of like understanding connecting into that energy that's like, infinite, everything's infinite. The scarcity mindset just is, it's a way that the system uses to control us, I think. So, I know. But yeah, that's sort of coming through this message. Try to remember the last time you received something unexpected from someone that made you feel really happy. Perhaps it was a bouquet of roses for no special occasion, or maybe it was the sweet warmth of a loving smile that lifted your spirit. Pardon me. I don't know why I'm burping. Well, I do because I'm reading, so sometimes that just happens when the energy starts to kick in fully for me. So yeah, I've got a really itchy nose, which wasn't happening before I started reading. Like, I feel like I need to sneeze. I don't know if it's sort of giving me that feeling. And actually, when I close my eyes and tune into it, it's sort of like going through, I'm feeling like this old dusty stuff, like when you go through your garage or attic or wherever you store things that you're not using, and there's like cardboard boxes, and it's dusty, and it's giving me that feeling of like there's a lot of old stuff lying around, this dusty feeling. It's making me want to sneeze. Perhaps a friend offered you the right thing at the right time, leaving an imprint of love and kindness on your soul. Definitely that has happened to me recently, and I absolutely and unequivocally appreciated it so much. And she knows who she is. So yeah, engaging in simple acts of kindness is perhaps one of the best ways to enrich your soul on its journey. Giving is not defined by financial generosity. It can be more about the manner in which a person gives. Okay, so it can be more about the manner in which a person gives. Sorry, it's just all of a sudden this is like itchy face, itchy nose. Like, as I said, it's not anything in here because I've been sitting in the same space for quite some time, fiddling around with my computer and, meditating before I came on to do this reading. And I didn't feel like this before. So it's very strange that this has just started happening now. But all of these things that happen during readings like that everything's like something there is a clue or a message or something like that. So if you're having itchy feelings, or you've got some dusty place and it gives you the sneezes because you can't really clean it out properly, that might be a clue. What else can I tune into with this itchiness? There's something like itching to get rid of something. I don't know. We'll come back to that, I think. So what have we got here? Engaging in simple acts of kindness is perhaps one of the best ways to enrich your soul on its journey. Giving is not defined by financial generosity. It can be more about the manner in which a person gives and less about the material value of the offerings. You can be generous by giving your love, attention, and kindness and time to others, you can also appreciate their caring, their compliments, and whatever positive service they offer you in return. So have faith that life will bring balance and give back to you when you give to others something new, sweet, and precious. As you give generously, you will make space to experience something far greater than you could imagine. Than you can imagine. Grace will create an opening for something wonderful to appear in its proper time and season. I am a beacon of generosity. I share loving kindness with the people I meet every day. Very interesting and lovely message there. Sorry, I'm just wiggling around trying to get comfortable in this hideous chair. I can't fit my office chair in here, so it's a lovely metal chair that hurts my butt when I sit on it, so I have to wiggle around and try and find a comfortable spot. So the joy of generosity, giving to make room. The message, this energy message that came through as I was reading through that booklet, when they were talking about giving to make space for something much bigger, it kind of was giving me this feeling of there's something, I don't know, it was giving me this feeling of, how can I put it? It's hard to find the right words, but it's sort of like you have something that you want to do, or, perhaps, I don't know. It's sort of like the more you give out, the bigger the energy becomes. It's sort of like, how can I put it? It becomes this like kind of snowball effect. So in the giving, you're receiving. It's very oh God, that's not a word. Reciprocitous. Reciprocitous. I'm trying to fit that word reciprocity in my reading because I love it. But so it's like this energy of generosity, and it's also this energy of understanding the ebb and the flow, or the infinite abundance of the universe never runs out. So it's okay to keep giving. And it doesn't have to be money either. It could be anything, as I said. It could be loving kindness. It could be the way that you give, whatever you give to the person, whether it's time or attention or, something like that. And I feel like with this sort of message as well, for some of you, this might be about giving time and attention, and love and all of those things to a certain person or a certain situation that you've got it going in your life right now. Maybe somebody's feeling a bit neglected. Maybe you have been busy or something like that, and you haven't had time to give like you normally would, and that, or maybe it's just sort of like there's certain things that need your attention, and that's the sort of attention that they need. They need that quality time, or they need that that kindness, or that attention, or whatever it is, right? And you'll know if it's for you, if that message specifically is for you about a particular situation in your life. If for others of you, this is sort of asking you to tap into giving bigger so that you can receive bigger, and being in that energy of reciprocity, energy of receiving. So let's have a look and see what other messages you have. So we have the card Michael, Sovereignty. So this makes a lot of sense. This is, it could be financial sovereignty. It could be pointing at the fact that you have more than other people, and that by giving away, giving to other people, you're also helping them and giving, like bringing good energy into the world. It could also, it's sort of tuning into, when I think about sovereignty, I always think about emotional sovereignty, right? That's my thing. But I feel like, being your own guiding light in this situation, it's kind of giving you that. I'm trying really hard to find the right words because they're not coming through as easily as they sometimes do. Sometimes it's just like, but tonight it's like, where are the words? I know the feelings I'm getting, but I don't know where the words are. So sovereignty, yeah. Um, I feel like this will help you achieve sovereignty in a way. I'm going to get the book out because I want to see what they have to say about Michael and his sovereignty. So Archangel Michael is someone you might want to be working with on this energy of giving and receiving, of making bigger space. If that's something that interests you. Just the exquisite Christos. Christos, I think they mean Christ. Christos, yeah. Wore the crown of heaven. You are reminded of the acquisition of your own archetypal sovereignty. This is received through initiation upon initiation, through the many rites of passage that will allow you to contemplate your soul self and the great I am presence. Are you in alignment with this sacred aspect of your soul's ascending nature, or are you circling a fertile void of uncertain expectation? So I'm going to read that sentence again because that kind of feels like it's important. Are you in alignment with this sacred aspect of your soul's ascending nature, or are you circling in a fertile void of uncertain expectations? Whichever it may be, say a prayer and chant to Michael, beseeching the presence of this divine one's heart by looking at the sigil, and immediately you will feel a charge of supernal strength. I was like thinking supernatural, supernatural strength, but yeah, apparently it says supernal strength, particularly at this time of unique development within the life of the galaxy. For Michael leads the heavenly host and you to the fruition of your soulful glory. All right, so this is to do with the heart chakra. I'm just kind of reading through this thinking, what the fuck does this mean? It's talking about the heart chakra. It's not something I've ever come across before, but it's, yeah, and it's also not, it's not important. It doesn't have an energy thread to this reading. So kind of what I'm getting here, I've got the next message as well, which is orientation. So orientation, I feel like this is, I mean, look, it's a map of stars, right? I feel like this is kind of pointing you towards that this adopting this energy and this joyfulness of being happy to give, happy to, whatever it is, give in whatever way that you need to give. It's kind of going to bring in, for those of you, and I felt like that was a really important message about are you in alignment, or whatever word they used, with your soul path, with the ascension of your soul, or are you kind of just like running around in circles and kind of confused and not really sure what's going on? I felt like for a lot of you who will be watching this reading, that you might not be at that place where you're comfortable with, or gotten used to the ascension path and the ascension that your soul goes through as you journey through life. I feel like you might be a little directionless and not really know where you're going, and this message is really about kind of connecting with that energy of joyful giving and being open-hearted. If you have a look at this card, it's got a lot of green energy in it, so it's kind of talking, I feel like, with the heart chakra being mentioned in the card of sovereignty as well. This is really talking about how being able to give joyfully, whether it's love, attention, kindness, time, money, resources, whatever it is, if you're doing it with that energy of, it's cool, there's always going to be more, the universe will provide for me. Somehow that's threading together with you finding direction or clarity about your direction, so you will stop feeling so confused and you will stop feeling so like not really sure of which direction you're going in. Orientation. I'm just trying to think. Like orientation, if I remember correctly, it's been a while. That orientation thing that you do at school with like a compass and stuff, it's kind of what I'm getting here. It's kind of like it's showing you a direction to go in, giving of your time, giving of your energy, giving of financial whatever, however this kind of is coming up for you, and you will feel the resonance within you when you sort of come across it, or just having that joyful understanding that when you give something away, there's more. There's always more. This is one of my favorite affirmations to remind myself to stop being limited in. It doesn't have to be in in money or financial things. It could be anything that I feel limited in, and I always remind myself there's always more. Like there's always more. I'm ready to receive more. There's always more. And most of the time I do actually receive more most of the time, unless I'm putting up more limitations for myself in some other way. That's not a conversation for this reading. So communion is our next card, which is what I'm waving around at you as I'm saying, there's always more. There's always more. There's always more. So yeah, eagle, there's always more chances. There's always more people. There's always more situations. There's always different situations. There's, so many different ways that this could land in your particular path. But just remember that there's always more. This is the feeling that I'm getting, and remembering that there's always more means that you don't feel stuck. Okay, so this is something, oh yeah, all right, so I'm channeling right now. Really, like remembering that there's always more means that you don't get stuck on just one situation or scenario or person or, even just in a rut in your life thinking I can't change this because this is all there is, when it's not true at all. And this is what this reading is giving me. It's like by remembering that there's always more, instead of staying focused on just this one path or this one thing, this one situation, to remember that there's always more is going to actually allow you to align with your soul, with your with more direction in your life than you actually have now. It's going to give you clarity. It's going to open up pathways for new and different things to come in for you. But you have to have the courage to do that. And I feel like finding the courage to do that is going to come in through this communion. This is the energy of like understanding that there are things in this world that are bigger than your human experience. And this actually came through in, I'm pretty sure it was group 2, might have been group 1 as well. It just seems to be a theme right now, is to remember that we're bigger than our human experience. Our human experience is important, and that's what we came here to do. But we also need to remember that we're souls, we're light beings, right? We're beings that are connected. We are, I'm getting shivers right now, big chills. So yeah, we are all connected to source. We're all separate, we're separate streams of consciousness, but we all come from the one source of light, of love, right? So remembering that sometimes is a really good way to kind of pull yourself out of this limited little box that you put yourself in, or you let society put you in. And a lot of the time it's not something that we are aware that we do to ourselves until you start actually digging into things like self-development or spirituality or something like that, or working with the subconscious. You might not even be aware that the way that reality shows itself to you is actually part of a program that you have in your head. So, because our heads are like computers, right? And our outside reality is not. Hang on, let me stop for a minute. This is going to get a little bit woo-woo, but hopefully you guys don't mind. So a lot of the time, if you are watching things like the law of attraction and stuff like that, they're telling you that the, you know, like reality or the universe responds to your vibration. What they're not actually telling you is your vibration is partly, at least partly, created by a program that's in your head that you were exposed to, that you created where before you were like 7 years old or so, before you had critical thought process, you saw all the stuff, you saw all the way that people around you lived, and you have these things in your subconscious that you're not even aware of that make you do things and be things and think things and feel things. And that is where a lot of people, you know, they can't step out of you know, the path that they're walking, because they don't understand that it actually takes to go and change what's hiding in the mindset, hiding in the subconscious mind or the unconscious mind sometimes, before you can actually take that leap. So it's sort of like, you know, that maybe there's something that you really want to do, that you really believe you want to do, but somehow, some way, you always sabotage yourself in doing that, or you stop yourself, or, you know, even things, it can even sort of manifest as like a series of unfortunate events that stops it from happening. I feel like for you guys, that by tapping into this understanding that we are bigger than what our human experience, and that subconscious loop or idea of what our reality should be, once you can step out of that by communing with what's bigger than you, you know, by communing with your soul, or having that kind of spiritual experience where you do remember that, you know, we're all connected, or we're all one, or however you think about it, that brings this energy to you, and it opens up this pathway where you finally remember, and I don't know why I said finally, but, you know, sometimes they just have me say things like that, where you finally remember that you, while we are all connected, you are a sovereign being, and you have your own specific path. You don't have to stay stuck in situations that aren't working for you. You can always remember that there is more, right? There's more. There's always more. And if you remember that, then you kind of, as I said, you open up that pathway. You're opening up a gateway, and you're releasing limitations to, you know, the limitations that are stopping things, bigger things, more exciting things, different things, different pathways for you. You're releasing limitations to those things coming into you, and you recognizing them and actually being able to take action on walking down that path. Oh, whew, that was big. That was a big channel. Okay, so I'm going to, what have we got here? Let's see. What else we have? I'm really drawn to, I might get an angel card, but I'm also getting drawn to these fairy cards over here. So I'm going to grab those first. There goes the burping as well. So that just goes to show you, that's interesting. There's a card in there that's not even part of this deck. That happens to me quite often, but I'm going to leave it in, and if it pops up, then it's meant to be a message for you guys as well. So let's have a look for group 3. Just what other messages would you like group 3 to know? What other messages would you like group? It did want to come out, the card that doesn't belong. So strength. This is about being strong. I feel like the strength card, it kind of reminds me of strength in tarot. These are oracle cards, so it means, apparently it means something different, but to me, having that come up, and it came up in group 2's reading as well, which is odd. Sometimes the readings tie in and sometimes they don't, and that's why I always say to people who can't choose, just watch all of them. Because, you know, you can just watch them all and pretend that it's a really long reading, because they often tie in together and it all makes sense, and you get a bigger you know, a bigger storyline or a bigger picture of what's actually happening. So the mountain, the strength card, I feel like this is for you guys. It's talking about building strength. It's about remembering that unconditional love, you know, the connection to source sort of thing, because to remember that reminds you, or always has you feeling that you are constantly in this flow of abundance, or this flow of infinite resources, or however you want to put it. But it also, as I said before, will connect you to this path, this bigger path, this, like, I keep getting this message, this picture, this feeling, I can't even explain what it is, but it's from my guides, and it's like that whole thing where you, like, they tell you to dream bigger, and you're like, but I can't, I don't know how much bigger do you want me to dream? So it's sort of like that. It's that kind of energy coming through. It's like there's something better for you, there's something bigger for you, there's something more appropriate that's going to be growth inducing, expansion kind of energy that you can tap into by kind of following what it says in this reading. And I feel like it's developing strength. It's developing strength in yourself. In the tarot, the strength card is about courage. So this is about having the courage to take the steps that you need to take, remembering, you know, all of the things that I already said. Take those steps that you need to take. Being courageous enough to do that, so that you can drop the limitations and let that new scenario, or whatever it is, that new thing, that big dream, come in. Let's have a look and see what else I have for group 3. Okay, stand your ground. That's interesting. We have 2 kind of earth cards. One is the mountain, obviously that's made of earth and it's ground. So it's kind of like, yeah, the mountain is a very strong kind of energy as well, obviously, because, you know, the card's called strength. But as I'm looking at it, I'm seeing, you know, like, stand your ground and the mountain next to each other give me this feeling of not backing down, right? Being strong as a mountain about whatever it is that you're bringing in, or whatever it is that you want to believe in. This dream, this feeling, this, like, yeah, this energy of just being strong. I feel like stand your ground. I'm getting so many messages that it's kind of a little bit of a moment for me sometimes to translate everything that comes in and work out which is the most important, or how to put it so that it resonates with the most people who are watching. So yeah, this is really earthy feeling. I feel like grounding energy for you, like the whole idea or vision of growing roots and not letting yourself be pushed over or be a pushover to certain people or certain things, situations. That kind of thing is coming up for me. It's coming up for me as a message for you, because no one can push a mountain over, right? So it's definitely standing your ground if you're gaining that strength. I feel like we're walking the path by opening the gateway and losing the limitations, that you are gaining strength in being able to, you know, stand your ground in whatever situation this is talking about. Obviously, you know, it could be lots of different things because this is a collective reading. Let's see what else the fairies have to say. I'll have a look and see. Oh, for some of you, this is about something you already knew about, right? It's something maybe you started to manifest it, or some situation that you stepped into that you felt very sure about, but something's happened that's kind of made you doubt. It's brought the doubts and the fears and all of that sort of stuff back in. And you know what? A long time ago, I can't even remember her name. Shit, that's really bad. It was a spiritual teacher, one of the I can't think what her name is. Elizabeth. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, sorry. Before I go back to my forgetting everybody's names again. So what she said was, like, there's always going to be two sides of the coin. So there's always going to be doubts and fears. There's always going to be things for you to worry about or get caught up on the details about. And that is usually what it is that kind of pulls you out from standing your ground, from being strong, from having this strong beliefs. And even if it's just belief in yourself, you know, there's always going to be those two sides of the coin. So you got to choose which side you want to be on, right? So you can be on the strength side and the growing your strength and the communion side, or you can be on the side of doubt, fear, and whatever, and find that, you know, you're just going round and round still in those loops of not understanding and not finding clarity in where you want to be and what you want to do. I feel really called out by this, by the way. I just thought I'd point that out to you. I feel like they're telling me in no uncertain terms to stop fucking around, basically. New opportunity. So new opportunity. All right. So stand your ground. So by standing your ground, you will actually open up a new opportunity for yourself. I want to know what this is about. I want to know what situation this is about, or get some more something from this. All right, what is this about? This new opportunity, standing ground, having courage. Where are we heading with this? Is this about a living situation? Is it about a work or financial situation or business? Is it about family? Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups. So the dreams coming, it's about a dream that didn't come true, or it feels like it's not coming true. It's like an unfulfilled wish, something that you wish for. It might be something emotional with the cups coming up as well. So an unfulfilled wish in relationships or something like that, you know, maybe. Or it just could be something. It could be something else as well, but with the cups coming up, it could be something emotional, because that's what cups, the suit of cups and the element of water, which also represents that suit, is all about. So a wish that didn't come true, or an unfulfilled wish. Can you tell me what else this is about, please? Okay. Yeah, so basically, oh, here we go, judgment, all right? Judgment. Judgment is about putting the past to rest, so letting go and letting God, as some people like to say, is sort of like releasing the past, forgiving the past, letting go of things that, oh, I nearly lost my headphone, my earbud. So yeah, it's about letting go of something. You need to let go of something that you may be holding onto, some resentment, some pain, some belief, as I was talking about. I mean, it's funny that came up when I was talking about how we think reality is, and how sometimes it's not what we think about and what we vibrate on the surface. It's actually what's in our core vibration, which is governed by what's in our subconscious, and how we, you know, what we saw as kids, as little babies, how that all sort of creates reality, creates your reality. And then this is coming up, this talking about unfulfilled wishes and resentment or pain or something that needs to sort of be let go of, because it is influencing your current reality. It is influencing you to fall back into this, my wishes have been unfulfilled, rather than living in the strength, right? So yeah, standing your ground. I feel like this is just really a reminder to not let go of whatever dream you had. Because by standing your ground and regaining strength, you always get another chance. It might not be exactly the same. It might not be exactly the same, but it will be another go around. And as I said, it's letting go of Now my mind's gone blank because I've just looked at these cards. So yeah, it's letting go of the limitations that stop these things from flowing into us, that stop these things from, you know, manifesting or coming into our lives, because we are holding these beliefs that we probably don't even know about. Some of us might know about them. Sometimes you become aware, sometimes they come up to consciousness for processing or release, or, you know, for you to say, oh, okay, that still serves me, I'll keep that one. But often it can be something that sort of, it's convoluted, it's unclear. And that was the kind of energy I was getting with the Shamiel card coming up too, the orientation, the finding, sorry, my phone screen just like, it literally looked like it glitched out. That was so weird. It shifted across the screen. Like, I've got it on, it's just on like the lock screen, and I looked at it, and the little picture that's on there, which is Hello Kitty, by the way, just in case anyone wants to know what's on my phone, it's Hello Kitty. But it's kind of like shifted across the diagonal down the screen, and I've literally never seen it do that. So that's really weird. Yeah, so anyway, as we were saying, enough about me and my phone. So yeah, letting go of something, whether this be patterns or programs that might be affecting you, it might be something from your past, some belief, or you know, an experience that you're still holding on to, that's creating limitations for this bigger dream, for this bigger thing to come in, that can come in by you remembering to be joyful and open-hearted and giving and generous. So I know sometimes that's not like the easiest energy to find, to be honest. You want to shut down and you want to kind of go into hermit mode and not interface with anybody, etc., etc. But this is what the reading says, guys. So it might be something that's sort of coming in for you organically. It might be part of your soul path, or it might be this is a guidance for you to find ways to bring that energy into your life so you can release the limitations. Now, these two cards fell out when I was trying to clarify the stand your ground, but I'm not sure which way they were meant to go because they fell on the ground. So I'm just going to, are they meant to be reversed or are they meant to be the right way up? Okay, reversed. Okay, reversed, 5 of Pentacles, and then we have the Devil. The Devil. Ooh. So yeah, I feel like it's saying there's this, okay, this is a situation that's coming up, right? This is it's a message for some of you about feeling left out, about feeling ostracized perhaps, or just, you know, like you can see on this card, right, and I've showed you guys probably this before if you've seen my readings before, that she is sitting here looking dejected, like she's been kicked out, like she can't get into the nice, warm, whatever behind that door, behind the 5 of Pentacles. And traditionally that card it does talk about not feeling like it can talk about not having enough. It can be like living in scarcity and poverty, but it can also sort of have that feeling or that energy of, you know, not being good enough or not sort of fitting in with the rest of society, and partly because you don't have enough. But this card here, right, she's looking and feeling like that, but the key is right here behind her, so she could get into the door at any time. Being that it's come up in reverse, and on the stand to clarify, I could speak properly, that'd be great. To clarify, stand your ground, right? To clarify, stand your ground, having that card come up in reverse, it's kind of like, I feel like you may have felt like this in your childhood. I feel like this might be something that you've experienced in your earlier life, and it's created this barrier where you feel where you don't feel like you belong, or you don't feel like you're good enough, or something along those lines. You know, you feel rejection very easily or something like that, because she does look like she feels rejected and dejected. But the truth of the matter is, it's like it's saying stand your ground, because it's not actually true. This card's in reverse. So it's sort of like that two sides of the coin thing that I was just talking about. I was going to say Elizabeth Peru, but it wasn't Elizabeth Peru. It was this other lady who's, I don't know, kind of witchy, spiritual, and well known in coaching, in the coaching world, I think. And I know her name's Elizabeth, but I can't think of what her last name is. So, yeah, standing your ground about not going back into this energy. This is what's coming through, right? So you have probably done a lot of work. This is what I'm getting. A lot of inner work. You've really sat with yourself and kind of worked on your self-confidence, or your ability, sat with your self-confidence, you know, just built up whatever it is that made you feel ostracized. So maybe you didn't have as much as other people when you were a kid, and maybe you got teased for, like, you know, not having the cool shoes or the cool clothes, or maybe you just weren't the same as other people and they made you feel left out or ostracized. And sometimes in certain situations this still comes back up, even though you may have worked on this, even though you may have done a lot of inner work. It's just it's asking you to stand your ground. They're asking you to stand your ground on this particular dream or situation that you're in, to remember that this isn't you anymore, right? This is just a memory. And this is why the Judgment card has come up. This is why the Judgment card is there, because it's like, they're like, no, you need to let go of that now, because that's not you anymore. You aren't like that. It's not like that, right? It's just memories. It's memories that probably feel really true and intense right now, but it's just memories that you are just, you know, you're re-experiencing, or you're fighting with yourself about, but it isn't real. It's maybe you could do with some, you know, therapy or something to help you get through it, or counseling. By the way, I'm a holistic counselor, so, you know, if you want counseling, you could come to me, and I will listen. But yeah, so let's just keep going with this. And then we had the Devil, and he came up the right way. So I feel like this is almost like it's saying, don't be tempted to go back to that old version of yourself. Stand your ground as who you are now, and don't let yourself get pushed out of this situation. Don't let whatever's happened or happening right now send you back to that unhealed version of yourself, because you're not them anymore. You've done so much work on yourself, and you're so loved and so appreciated by people and all of that sort of stuff. Just keep your heart open, and, you know, you'll get this new opportunity. This new opportunity will come in, right? And the new opportunity card is placed on the Shamiel card. I'll show you. It's just like on the desk. It's like that. So we've got these beautiful purple kind of spiritual theme energies coming through, and this is about the one underneath is the orientation one. So it's star map, soul path type stuff, and this is a new opportunity. It'll be a new opportunity for you to walk that same path that you wanted to walk. It might not be with the same people or in the same situation, but it will be more aligned. It will be the bigger dream. It will be the thing that you wanted to do that's most fulfilling for you, that you haven't quite gotten to yet. So I think that's probably going to be the end of this reading. I feel like that's a really amazing and succinct message. I hope that you liked it. If you, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.